Hi, I'm standing in the entrance of a nice colony that's been here for a whole week, neglected. They've had sugar water, they've gotten some frames to give them lots of room. They started out as a package several weeks ago. Right now it's April 12th, and it's windy. It was raining, thunderstorms last night, and they finally cleared up today. It's almost like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I guess, right now. And it's about 66. Let's take a look and see how they're doing. Well, because it was colder out, we've got an extra protection on the top here to keep the weather from going through the boxes because they haven't been sealed up by the bees. And underneath here we have a non-insulated cover. And on top of that we have a non-insulated inner cover. And then we've got various blankets to keep the bees nice and toasty. We've got a deep box on the top to hold all that. And inside the feeder it's dry as a bone. But as you can see, the bees are up there trying to find stuff to eat. As a little preventative, I'm going to use my veil. Try to keep the bees out of my eyeballs. We're going to use a MAP gas torch. We're going to light our smoker. Today in the smoker we're using pine straw. The way I light mine is I take my torch, put it in the bottom with the lid off, light it up, and kind of pump the air at the same time as the fire goes. It goes out quite often. You just keep relighting the torch until eventually you get some fire going in here. Keep that pumping for a little bit. Put my lid on. As you can see, mine is well loved. We're going to give a little smoke at the beginning, at the end, entrance there. We've got a little shield to keep the entrance dry. We're going to pop the cover here, give them a little smoke. Looks like the wind is blowing this direction, so I'm going to put the smoke from this side. Let it go a little cross breeze. Hold this stuff down inside here. On the bottom of the cover I don't see a queen. I do see them making some burr comb up inside of the feeder. I'm going to set that on the side of the hive here. We're going to start with this outside frame. Theoretically there's less bees on there, so hopefully we have less chance of squishing the queen. Looks like this is an undrawn plastic foundation. We'll put that off to the side. If you look down in here, you got bees filling 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 slots. So that's pretty well packed out. I would say that's 8 frames of bees. We'll use our tool to pry the frames apart. That's not really too stuck yet. I guess they haven't really sealed things, probolized them yet. You can see that this frame is full of pollen. That's this orange stuff. And that got some nectar up here at the top. That's that shiny glistering stuff. And more nectar over here. And this is honey. It's been capped. You can see this frame is brood. That's all this stuff here. It's like fuzzy. That's all capped brood, and inside of here is larvae. See the moon-shaped bees? They look like little half C's. They're the larvae. And this one has some older larvae up here in the top corner. And there's some newer larvae right there in the middle. That's all new larvae. This is the really recent larvae. As you can see, they're just starting to turn from an egg. And up here is eggs. And down here in the bottom, this is all eggs. All in these cells. And over here, that's honey. So they've been capped. So that's 4 frames of brood basically. And this is your queen. Right here. See her walking around? That's the queen. And this is nectar and pollen. And this is an empty frame. It's all, this looks like it's all new wax to me. So we'll set that aside. And this is also an empty frame. We'll set that aside. And this is an empty frame. It's got a little bit of the green stuff from winter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide up this brood nest. Give her some more space to lay. So I'm going to what they call checkerboarding. Because we're down in the 50s and 40s in the nights, so they should be able to handle this. And this will also allow her to finish out this box, fill it up with all brood. So now every other frame, this one, and this one, are all just foundation ready to be drawn out with bees. And this last one, we'll put this foundation that way that they can fill that out and make that wax. I'm going to use my hive tool to spread this a little bit more. Now we're going to put everything back together, nice and tight. And we're going to take this little piece of wax, it used to be that queen cell, and we're going to combine it with what is on the top here as bird comb. I'm going to make a little noodle. I'm going to stick it right between the frames here and see if they use that. Make something else with it. And that should do it. We're going to put our lid back on. I'm going to give them some vinegar to drink. Now actually it's sugar water 1:1. 1 part sugar, 1 part water. I don't think they're actually going to use this, but we're going to try it anyway. So if they need it, they can have it. If they don't need it, they don't have to have it. So what this does is supposedly encourages them to draw out more comb and brood. And we'll put our box back on the top. That way that we can protect that heater or feeder. We'll fill it back up with our blankets, just keep the temperature in there, make it like an insulated cover. And then we'll put our inner cover just so it's stored, so we know where that's at, and then our lid. I'm going to make sure it doesn't fall over and the wind blow it apart. I'm going to use some of these ratchet straps. You can get these at Harbor Freights. Sometimes they're on sale for like $10. Once in a while you get a bad set. The way they push this rivet in there and just peen it over. Sometimes they let loose and that pin falls apart, but this allows me to strap it right to the stand. That way hopefully this thing stays together as an assembly even if it does blow over. I like to take the twists out of it just for the fun of it. Oh, and I forgot about this cover. Put that right underneath the box there. There you go. There's your shield. Oh, and this one had similar configuration. I already started it. And inside of here is probably about 3/4 of an inch of sugar. They are up in the top here, but they're not really drinking at all. Let's take a look and see how they're doing. Yeah, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 frames of bees. All right, we're going to start with the outside frame again. Hopefully there's not too many bees on there. I'll pull up slowly in case there's a queen on there. And you can see how they're drawing it out. We would call this burr comb because it's not really stuck on the foundation like the cells of the foundation. It's kind of like elevated. So that's kind of normal. We'll set that to the side. They would call this number 2 frame number 2. Already we can see a drone. See, that's a drone. This side's all cat brood. This is frame number 3. That's older cat brood, and as you can see, that's another drone right there. That's the male bee. They just mate, that's all they do. And that's another frame of brood, both sides. That's a 3rd frame of brood. This is the burr comb. We'll take that out of there. That's your queen right there. And this is all eggs in here. There she is. And this is all newly drawn out wax, and it's got nectar in it, which is actually probably sugar water. Oh, we do have a supersedure cell. Let's see if there's anything in it. And it has an egg. I'm going to move that so they don't do that. There's our queen, so we'll put her back in. So if we let that cell go, that would have become another queen, and they would battle it out to see who wins. And that's all capped honey. And that's old comb. We'll set that to the side. That's pollen and old comb. That's some old comb. So what we'll do is we'll set this over a little bit so we can split this brood up, make her have lots of room, because this honey frame will probably stop her from moving over. We'll do that with this one too. And this is all nectar that they're filling out. So we'll move this honey frame all the way to the outside edge. And put that in so that forces them to be able to have more room to fill with nectar. Then I'm going to shake off this frame of bees. I'm going to clean up all this spur comb. This actually has eggs in it, and so does this one. That's the back side. I'm going to pop out this plastic foundation. I'm going to stick this burr comb right here in the top. Use these little pieces to kind of glue it in. Kind of mash that up in there. Mash that together. Take this one and kind of mash it right in there. Mash it together. Take this one and just kind of mash it right in there. We'll stick this one right on the bottom. We'll stick that right in there and let them draw that out. Squeeze everything together. Put on our hive feeder. And put it on an angle so hopefully it won't squish as many bees that way. Straighten it up. And then we'll put on our lid. We've got to get rid of these bees though. And then we'll strap this down. That completes our inspection.